Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be here tonight with my friend John Wheaton and want to thank all of you at home this time for joining us. I'm sure many of you have attended Inner City Tennis's fundraisers in the past, and some of you may be first-time attendees. Thanks for being with us tonight on this very important event night. Our goal tonight, simple. Raise $150,000. All proceeds from it will benefit Inner City Tennis's outreach programs and scholarships for Minneapolis youth. John is here to share a quick preview of what's in store for you tonight. John?
Thank you, Mike. Tonight we're excited to show you the great work Inner City Tennis does year-round. We'll have a chance to hear from ICT's coaches about the great programs they have in place, and you're also going to hear from the kids themselves. You're in for a real treat tonight. I've seen some of the kids, and it is so inspiring to hear them talk about what Inner City Tennis and tennis means to them. We also have a couple of special announcements tonight. I can't tell you what it is exactly yet, but I will say that they are connected to a very special individual who has supported and led Inner City Tennis for many years. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, can't wait. Thank you, John. There are many great ways to give tonight. Please see the bottom of your screen for information on how to give. Simply text Give to ICT to 41444, 41444 to make your gift. Or give online by clicking the donate button on the top right of the screen. And remember, there are lots of great auction items you can bid on until 9 o'clock tonight, but you want to check them out and you want to be ready.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be here with you once again, raising money for Inner City Tennis youth.
I really enjoy it, John, as you know. I think this is my third year as MC of the Inner City Tennis Annual Fundraiser, and I'd like to tell you why I've agreed to be involved again this year. Because sports matter, youth matter, and our inner city matters a lot. It was right in our face these past 3 months as we've seen riots and unrest and all that's happened to Minneapolis. I was on the front lines for those riots. I saw it up close. And I saw our youth, our teenagers get involved, and I saw for the first time some of them consider things they hadn't considered before. And as you look at that and you say, how do we come out on this healthy on the other side? I kept thinking about the power of being active. And I kept thinking that what we need is kids to engage in positive things at the right age, and so that they carry that with them for the rest of their lives. Enter something like Inner City Tennis, a program where they're safe, a program where they've got great people that are serving as mentors, and a place that they can go to and feel like they're improving every day. On top of that, I've been out of the Minneapolis city schools this fall, and they're practicing distance learning. They have to, and we understand that. That means there are fewer opportunities for these kids to interact. Why is that so important? Because they need to be around their teammates, they need to be around their friends, they need to have the back and forth that social offers us, and they need those mentors and those coaches and those teachers checking on them, checking their body language, seeing if they're having a bad day, maybe being able to tap in and find out what's going on in their home, because everybody's struggling with different issues right now. That's why it's so important that we have nights like this, because we can't leave this generation behind. They've learned so much, they've seen so much in the past few months, and now it's up to us to make sure we take them through to the other side and we create a healthy environment, which is exactly what Inner City Tennis has stood for since it came in its inception.
Well, Mike, you about said it all. I mean, as you know, on March 16th, we closed our tennis center and suspended all of our programming. We scaled down to a skeletal staff to keep the organization afloat and to stay in contact with our donors, players, partners, and volunteers. And then shortly after closing the tennis center, our outreach team developed innovative ways to continue supporting our kids. There are so many ways they did that, besides just connecting with them electronically and through phone calls, regular phone calls, helping them with their homework, that kind of thing, and just encouraging the kids. You know, they were shut in and nowhere to go, nothing to do, so we just want to keep that personal connection. Many of the kids we serve, of course, face very difficult circumstances, and this year has been especially challenging. I mean, just being shut in is one. Of course, all the angst around COVID. You know, a young child can't really understand all that. And then, of course, on Memorial Day, May 25th, was the awful George Floyd killing, just less than a mile away from our tennis center. And I just want to pause for a moment to acknowledge the pain of so many people in our community and just reaffirm our stance against police brutality and racism. In fact, at the time, we decided to hold a Stand for Justice event to acknowledge what was happening in our community. And we just wanted to reach out and invite people to come in to reflect on all that was happening. We are committed to inclusion, which is one of our organizational values, and serving a diverse community. By being here tonight, you are helping us to reach more kids and support their learning on and off the tennis court. The funds we raise tonight will make a meaningful difference right away this year. Let's turn to our board chair, Will Prest, and take a moment to acknowledge some very special sponsors.
Thanks, John, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Your gifts are critical to our work as we help thousands of kids in our community navigate through these very challenging times. Everyone needs a team, and they need the positive role models that inner city tennis provides. I'd like to thank our Leading the Way event sponsors who are critical to our work throughout the year and for this evening's event. First, our presenting sponsor, the Carlson Family Foundation. Our Northside Legacy sponsor, the Gage Family Foundation. Our donation match sponsor, the Oberender family. What's really neat is they'll be matching donations up to $15,000 through the end of the evening. Thanks so much. Our ACE sponsor, C.H. Robinson. Our SMASH sponsors, the USTA Northern, Deloitte Digital, and Insperity. I'd also like to thank all of our personal sponsors for their support tonight. Thanks and have a great night. We appreciate it.
Let's take a look at our progress so far. Wow. We are well on our way to tonight's goal. Thank you very much. And remember, it's really easy to make your gift. Just text GIVE to ICT to 41444 or click the donate button on your screen. John, we both know what a challenging year this has been. Earlier this summer, you and I met to discuss those challenges and what your team has been doing. Let's take a look. Everything in the inner city, it seems, has been rocked this summer, including tennis. The inner city tennis program has seen much in its growth over the years. And what's happened over the past couple of months is another opportunity. The inner city tennis program has been established to reach an area of the urban that has been underserved. They have made great strides. And then along came COVID-19.
It was just this deep sense of uncertainty, you know, what's the future hold? Not just, you know, a year from now or 6 months from now, but like tomorrow almost.
Part of their imprint is in the classroom. That was shut down, so they reached out.
Try to connect with the kids that we serve. Our coaches just love their kids, so we continued our Reading is Power program up on the north side with kids that were really, you know, housebound.
Then came the riots.
Yeah, we all understand the things in our society that are bubbling under the surface. This just brought it out and put it right in front of our face and said, we got to do something.
And in the midst of chaos, they chose to embrace it, to talk about it, to learn from it.
We held a Stand for Justice event here at the tennis center, and we invited people from the Twin Cities tennis community to come and just reflect on all that happened. And I think it was just interesting to see them process it all. The older kids, of course, are learning about a lot of things in school, and they're trying to put it all in context.
They supported those that needed to be served with food donations.
We're just thankful that we're in a position to serve the community and be a part of the solution in our own way.
In so doing, they have stayed strong as an organization. They have withered a storm and are taking on the challenge of the mission as it was intended from the start.
We've been going strong. I think we're going to serve up to 900 kids and adults this summer, which is fantastic.
John, that's just part of it. Tell us more about what your team has done this summer.
Well, Mike, it was, yes, a very challenging spring, and we were closed down for almost 3 months. I mean, we had to cancel our annual gala. Our tennis center was closed, so it was a very uncertain time. But our staff was incredible, and we asked them to come back online and deliver our programs in the parks. And I'm so grateful for Al Bengora and his team over at Minneapolis Parks, who allowed us to come in and operate in 8 parks. We're normally in 21 or 22 parks every year, but we had to scale it down this year, and we were able to actually serve 900 kids this year, Mike, and that was incredible because tennis is one sport you can social distance. I mean, a lot of sports you can do some of it, but tennis is particularly, I guess, easy to do that. And we were able to serve all these kids and give them a sense of normalcy. They had been shut in all that time, and of course, when they came back out on the courts, they were so happy to be there, and it was such a joy for me to watch those kids run out on the court every day and connect with our caring coaches. So that was our summer pretty much, so I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to serve so many this summer. And you can read more about our work on our website at innercitytennis.org in our Impact Series section. There you'll find stories about our work told directly by our coaches and staff who are serving the kids. To bring their work to life, let's take a look at some of our outreach coaches working with kids in the Northside Legacy program earlier this year.
Sports in general, I think, create so many mentoring relationships, whether that's the coach to the athlete or peer-to-peer as well. When you're together with one common goal, as you often are in sports, naturally I think mentoring relationships can take place.
Peanut butter? There you go.
Coach Mason is really nice.
Hey, Bolly, come on.
Coach Dan, he teaches us. They teach us skills and forehands and backhands.
Tennis is a vehicle for us to build those relationships and to build confidence in the students that we work with. The first most important part of mentoring is building a relationship and building trust. We see them many times throughout a week. We see them in their schools, we see them out of school, and through that they trust us.
You know what Max is? Okay, high five.
Once you're in and you've got that trust, you can really guide kids through life.
Good, there you go, way to let it
Perseverance is a huge one. I mean, to equip students with the ability to continue to fight, to get better.
I know.
When we catch them persevering on the tennis court, we'll call it out and say, that's how you persevere, good job, you know, and building them up that way. I want every single one of the students that comes here to be as successful as possible. And I think in order to do that, they need to know we care about them. That's the most important thing.
All right, let's put the balls back in the basket.
Tennis is a really good activity that brings the kids in the group together, and then we teach a lot more valuable life lessons and skills once they're here.
This has been a TPT Partnerships co-production.
And now I'd like to introduce one of our outreach coaches who made this all possible, Mason Bolche.
Yeah, it's been a year, unlike any others. There have been numerous challenges for sure, but with those challenges, there's new ways to connect with our students, and we've just been able to be creative and find new ways to engage with our students. And I think that that's really presented just new opportunities, and the relationships that we've been able to develop look a little different. You know, like with the stay-at-home order, we were able to call our students and read with them online, and we've just done everything that we can to stay engaged. And then thankfully this summer we were able to hold our programs, and then this fall as well. So we're always looking for new and creative ways to stay engaged with our students, and it's just been really rewarding that we've been able to do so. There's been a lot of planning, a lot of stress on the back end, but then when you see the students come and seeing them smile and just being able to see their friends again, being able to play, it's been so rewarding to see that through everything that's gone on in the last 6 months.
I read for fun and to learn new things. And my favorite book is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows because it has lots of action.
And why is Soleil your favorite book?
Because she has skin color kind of like me, and her skin color is like nighttime, and it's pretty beautiful. I like to read books because it helps your brain, and I like dog man books.
I read because it makes my brain stronger and I learn new things. It's fun to read new things and new books. I like mystery books because it's challenging, fun, and mysterious.
Keziah, why do you read?
Because reading, it takes you on in another world. It's like an adventure. My favorite book is The Night Fairy. The reason why I like The Night Fairy is because it's so elegant and the beautiful art in it.
Going to the Northside Legacy program was just wonderful for them. They got up every morning nice and early, and I think we headed over at, it started at 9. We got there just a little before 9, and as soon as they got there, they just ran out to the court, even before the coaches were out there. And they were hitting the ball back and forth with some of the other friends who were also in that program. So it was really fun to see. And you know that they have excitement about tennis when you see them, running out to the court.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name is Jasenia. I'm 10 years old and I go to Bryn Mawr Elementary School. I feel most likely calm. I feel like I can trust everyone there. I feel pretty safe, and I feel pretty safe around everyone. I never feel unsafe. When I started, I usually, my normal school schedule was just go to school, come back home, just do that round all over and over again. So until then I saw this paper script that our classroom gave out. And I thought, this might be an opportunity for me to finally do something after school. Because I did do a lot of after school activities, but they weren't really fun. Just a lot of, school stuff and all. So after after the first class, I really enjoyed it. So I thought to myself, where would I be in 2 years if I kept doing this? And I thought, I may be really good. So I kept going. And with the encouragement of also my mom, she told me to also go every single day. So I did. I tried to take as much opportunities as I could to make myself be where I wanted to in those 2 years.
They bring a new twist to Hospitality House. They do tennis, something that we never did at Hospitality House. And so when they bring the tennis program to Hospitality House, our kids just get excited. But also inner city tennis is so important because they're working with the families, trying to build character and trying to lift families up to be successful. So John Wheaton and myself were really close friends, and we try to do it together. He's on the south side and I'm on the north side doing the same thing. So we're trying to intermingle to help the families.
Well, it really centers around this holistic approach, and I would say best practices. With Inner City Tennis, who brings not just the tennis, but also the tutoring and the educational component. And with us, with the fitness, health, and nutrition, it's this holistic approach to helping families, or kids in particular, to dream bigger and to achieve. We have a lot of kids who's underachieving, even those who's graduating high school are still not going on to really achieve their life goals. And between our two programmings, we're filling these different gaps to kind of give them the tools to be able to go on to life success.
Here at ICT, we have about 18 kids that come every day. We split them up into 3 or 4 small groups where they're able to do their distance learning. And so they're supposed to be online most of the day with their school. And so we provide space for that. as well as supporting them. There's a lot of issues, you know, getting kicked out of video calls, or they can't access, you know, this assignment or that, and so we're here to support that, as well as when it's time for them to work on assignments. Of course, we're there to help with that. And then they have a lunch break, lunch and recess break, and so half of the kids are eating lunch at a time and the other half are playing tennis, and then they switch. And then they get right back into school in the afternoon, and then following the end of the day around 3 o'clock, half of the kids have snack, half of the kids play tennis. So every minute that we have of time where we can get the kids active and even social, you know, safe in a safe way, but social, that's what we're doing. And I think that that's something that kids are really missing out on these days, as well as the support. I think just talking to parents, a lot of people, you know, either have to go into work and can't stay and support their kids, or they're at home working and still can't support the kids in the way that they would like. And so being a space where kids can go for the full day, they can be safe, they can engage with adults that care about them and that can mentor them, they can see their friends, they can get active. I mean, it's just, it's kind of filling the needs of the public right now in our community, and that's what it was intended to do. There's a student, yeah, he only speaks Spanish, and from what we can tell, he struggles to read or write in either language. And so it's been hard getting him engaged in his schoolwork. But yesterday I decided I'm going to try to read a book to him, and then I'll speak into my phone, which then can translate it into Spanish. And the first couple pages, he was moderately engaged. And then after a while, he was like, more. And we were like running up right towards the end of where we had to go play tennis. So I was like, I gotta go set up, you know. And he was so engaged in the book. And I think it was another eye-opening experience that if you meet kids where they're at, every kid can love school. You know, but I think for this student in particular, a lot of times he's just felt left behind, left out, because he's not at the level that other people are, and maybe he doesn't hear English at all in the home. And so for me to be able to read it in English and have it translated into Spanish, that's what it took for him to get engaged. And he saved the page in the book where we're going to read it today. And I'm just looking forward to more moments like that, where it's so cool that we maybe don't speak the same language, but we're still able to connect in this space, and just seeing him light up just means the whole world to me, and it's why we do this.
I feel like ICT will help a good way with kind of keeping the kids entertained, like kind of pushing them to go a little bit out of their comfort zone and try something maybe new if they're new. Try something like sports, like tennis that we're doing. And with the program for school, it's going to be much better, because after the little breaks, you provide tennis lessons. And with that, also providing school lessons, which makes it even better, because you can also focus on your studies, but you also don't have to worry from driving to your house to the place right after school.
We had a lot of challenges due to COVID-19 because my kid is a second language, so and they're new to America, so they need a lot of help. You know, compared to learning from home and learning from school are different from them. They need, somebody to be there for them, and I have to go to work all the time, and I have to put, food on the table at the same time. I have to pay the rent, everything, and my wife, she doesn't speak English, so that's a big challenge for us. So my kids are in program. It's kind of half school and half, they're kind of active. So what I like at the program is they are active and excited. At the same time, they are learning, their school and getting help from, someone who speaks fluent English. So far, they're really doing great, better than what we're doing at home. They're reading, a lot. They practicing. They like it also tennis. They practice here. So a lot of, positive activities so far.
Is tennis brand new to them? Have they tried it before?
No, they never tried before. This is the first time they have ever done.
Oh my gosh, fun!
Yeah, this is really a big help for every parent, who is struggling this, tough time. And I'm gonna say them, come and join with us. This is really fun for the kids. It had to stay, 6 months, 8 months, at home. They are active, the kids at the same time they are learning. So come join with us. This is really fun.
So far, we've opened up our south site here at ICT, the Reed Sweat Family Tennis Center, and then we're looking to open up our north site at V3 in the next week or two. We're just trying to set that up for as much success as we can have. We've really learned a lot here on the south side, and we're trying to take that and really fine-tune things so that on the north side we can really hit the ground running.
John, I heard one of your players was recently part of a national roundtable with Venus Williams and other high-profile players. What was that like?
Oh, it was an incredible experience for our young player, Sella Stibbins, and she's, I think, 16 now, or 17, and she is just an outstanding player, and she's done so well in tennis. She started out in our program, in our Parks program, and has come up through the ranks, and now she's one of the top nationally ranked juniors in the country. And the USTA asked her to join in a roundtable discussion right at the time of the US Open to talk with other pro players and other young players. Most of them were black athletes who had kind of dealt with all that had happened this summer and gave a perspective, their perspective on what they had experienced and kind of the opportunities that the United States Tennis Association had given to these young players to go all the way in tennis. And some of the funding actually that we receive from the USTA and from you tonight goes toward our Excellence Team program to help players like Sella Stibbins really reach for the stars. And she really is. She's getting there. She's going to be going to a college and getting a scholarship someday. And of course, she has her sights set on pro tennis. So we're proud to be part or have her in our program.
I want to hear from you about, you're in Minneapolis, and I'm interested to hear how the death of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement there in Minneapolis, how that's affected you and how you felt since that tragedy happened there.
Yeah, it's been crazy here, but I think the best, most positive thing out of this is that our whole city is coming together to make a change. There's so many sit-ins, so many donating, protesting, and it's not just Black people, it's everybody coming together. And we're just trying to stop our racist system in Minneapolis because it's very segregated, and we're trying to make a change.
And we're so proud of all of our youth participants. Another very special player is Sophie Ma, who was awarded the USTA Foundation's National Essay Grant for girls 11 and under.
I'm so proud to congratulate you, Sophie. You were just one of 10 awardees of the NJTL Essay Grant presented by Deloitte. Keep up the great work on and off the court.
Let's meet Sophie now.
Hello, hello. My name is Sophie Ma, and I'm 11 years old, and I go to Inghua Academy.
Your gifts tonight will allow Inner City Tennis to provide youth scholarships and free of charge programming to Minneapolis youth. Now let's walk through an example of what each giving level represents. $2,500 provides 4 sessions of Inner City Tennis's Super Saturdays program, which makes free of charge tennis available to hundreds of youth on Saturday afternoons during the school year. $1,000 provides scholarships for 5 students to participate in an 8-week session of Inner City Tennis's Tennis and Learning program, which Coach Mason told us about earlier. $500 provides 7 weeks of on-court instruction for a junior player in Cities Academy, which is Inner City Tennis's after-school tennis program. $100 provides a full scholarship for a child in Inner City Tennis's Summer Tennis in the Parks introductory tennis program. Now, we're going to hear from someone who's been an active volunteer and supporter of Inner City Tennis. Wendy Nelson, chair of the Carlson Family Foundation, which is our presenting sponsor tonight.
I love my story of how I got introduced to Inner City Tennis because it was my uncle, who I miss dearly, who played a significant role in my life. And my uncle and I obviously shared family, but we shared more than that. He was a young boy in Evanston dreaming of a day that he could play tennis and play tennis in college, and tennis gave him many gifts. And he saw how tennis was giving me many gifts. And he recognized that we both had this shared understanding of the power of sports in young people's lives, and in particular the power of tennis. And so he came to me, and we had this shared understanding. So he said, can you imagine if there was a program that took all the power of what it means to engage and play sports, all the gifts that it gives you, but we actually took developmental assets from the Search Institute and other great research that's been done, and we laid that on top of a program where kids came in and they played tennis, but we were actually able to pull forth and highlight those areas of character development, leadership training, grit, resilience, always getting back up, continuing to fight, a sense of self-esteem, being cared about because you had people around you. What if there was this program? And I said, that's amazing, it would be incredible. And he said, well, there is that's inner city tennis, and I want you to engage with us, and will you come join me? He was chair of the board at the time and asked me to join the board, and I agreed. And it was then and is today a great gift to have been able to work alongside with him on expanding the possibilities for our youth. The Carlson Family Foundation believes strongly in ICT's work because the Carlson Family Foundation, our vision is for every young person to have hope in their lives, a sense of belonging in their lives, and opportunities. And we, along our journey, have discovered over and over again that it's a constellation of adults. It's these adults, from a teacher to a mentor, to someone who's advising a program that young people are involved with. These adults have a significant impact and proven based on research. And so if you look at ICT is a system that takes the joy of a sport, engaging kids through something they can just love, and they create a constellation of adults around these young people to ensure that they are being cared for, and that they're being seen, and that we have expectations of them. If you don't have expectations, you don't believe in someone enough, right? You have to believe in someone enough to have expectations, and Inner City Tennis does just that. It says, we have expectations for you because we believe in you, we believe in your possibilities, and we want to expand your dreams, and we want to expand your possibilities. And the Carlson Family Foundation recognizes the importance of programs like Inner City Tennis, and specifically Inner City Tennis because of the way it sees its coaches and mentors and the adults who are involved with the kids and engaging with the kids.
Wow, it is wonderful to hear why donors like the Carlson Family Foundation are so connected to Inner City Tennis. We hope you'll join generous donors like the Carlson Family Foundation in supporting Inner City Tennis tonight. A great way to do just that is to bid on our auction items. The auction closes at 9 p.m. tonight. There are so many great items, including our premier items, like a one-week stay in Rio Verde, Arizona, and an overnight stay at the gorgeous Wheaton Stonehouse farm right here in Minnesota. Love to check that out. And be sure to check out our Pay It Forward auction category. For these items, you make a bid and kids get the items. Remember to get your bids in by 9 p.m.
Thanks, Mike. And now we've got a special announcement. This year, we are launching our Skip Gage Memorial Scholarship. Let's turn to Barbie Gage to learn more. Talk about the scholarship a little bit, the Skip Gage Memorial Scholarship for Inner City Tennis. What would you like to see? That's a $1,000 scholarship we're going to give every year to a deserving young student. What does that represent for kind of Skip's legacy?
Well, I think Skip would be I know Skip would be really proud to be giving the scholarship. I know that to be able to help anyone was part of their tennis career, again, because he loved tennis so much. And just to be able to donate and help anyone. We have to remember that he himself went to Northwestern on a scholarship. It meant, you know, everything in his later life for him to be able to do that. I just think that always to be able that we can stop once a year and remember these wonderful values that he represented is meaningful to me.
We promised everyone 2 special announcements. Let's see what's next.
Hi, John. Hi, Mike. Thanks so much for having me here to make this extra special announcement. I am thrilled to be able to tell all of you that one of the men behind the scenes of Inner City Tennis, a man that all of you probably know, we are happy to be able to induct him into our USTA Northern Hall of Fame this year. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the Hall of Fame, it's an elite group of folks. It's our leaders, our legends throughout the section. It's people that have played professionally and been amazing, amazing players. David Wheaton is in our Hall of Fame. You have to have done some amazing things to get in there. But it's not just the on-the-court skills that'll get you into the Hall of Fame. It's also what you do off the court, which is what Inner City Tennis does so well, and it's what Skip Gage did so well. He didn't require a lot of recognition for what he did, and maybe people don't even know the impact that he had on tennis in our section. But without him, Inner City Tennis wouldn't be the organization that it is today. And I know, John, you know that, and many of the board members know that. You know, Skip gave with his heart. He showed up, and he was an inspiration to many people. And we hope by giving him this honor and having him join an elite group of folks in our Hall of Fame, it'll inspire others to do the exact same thing, which is what we need right now, right? We need to come together as a community and give and support organizations like Inner City Tennis, because they're making an impact in our communities with our kids, who are the future. So John, Mike, I'm so happy that we're able to have Skip in the Hall of Fame.
What does being inducted into the Northern Tennis Hall of Fame mean to Skip and to you and the whole family?
I think it represents pride to all of us. You know, if Skip had known, he would have been so proud. But we are all very proud of him. It's a wonderful accomplishment. And all that it represents, it's not, you know, his early tennis playing, his time at Northwestern, his success, his service to Inner City Tennis, to the Military Academy, to tennis worldwide.
When you give hope to a young boy or girl, it can change their entire life. And even though this epidemic has hurt a lot of you financially, you find a way to help this program. And I'd like to say on behalf of Nick Bollettieri, I love you all, but don't have me knocking on your door, baby. And Uncle Skip, we will always remember you on how you operated, and you asked for no acknowledgement. You know why? You believed in the program. And Wendy, be a good girl and you help. And Marilyn and Auntie Bob, I'll be with you for many years. God bless you, everybody.
That is great. It is so exciting to see Skip Gage being honored this way. John, you know him very well over the years.
I do. Skip has meant so much to our organization. He was on our board for over 40 years, and he was hands-on. It was just an honor to work with Skip, and we miss him so much. And we just couldn't do our work without the generous support of all of our volunteers and donors like Skip and like you at home.
Wow, what a night it has been. We've raised so much for the kids so far. And the giving can continue after we sign off. And remember, our donation match sponsor, The Oberender family is matching donations up to $15,000 through the end of the evening, so it's a great opportunity to double your impact. The auction closes at 9 p.m. Central, so get those last bids in.
If you're someone who's just learning about inner city tennis, I encourage you to learn more. Go watch one of the programs, because when you see a young person with joy on their face, smiles, energy, being surrounded by adults who are saying, we care about you, we're cheering you on, we're here to teach you through a fun sport about life and life skills. All you have to do is see it. All you have to do is come to one program, and you'll feel that energy, and you'll recognize what is always hard to share in a piece of paper. You have to see it to understand the impact.
If someone is thinking about joining, if you really want to try it, just go for it.
I would like to share with the young people that they should continue to be involved in the inner city tennis programs, because they're such wonderful programs. They should take advantage of them, and they should continue to work hard, to persevere, and to have fun, and to remember that tennis is a lifetime sport.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great evening.